In 2025, global employee engagement dropped for a second year to its lowest level since 2020. Let's unfold. All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back. My name is Jerry Simmons and I'm with Unfolded Leadership. This is where we train and transform people like you who want to influence, inspire, and impact other individuals in their day-to-day life. So if that sounds like you, let's go ahead and get started talking. So Gallup dropped their State of the Global Workplace 2026 report. And this is specifically about all things going on in the workplace. And here at Unfolded, we love data because numbers tell such a significant story that can very easily be missed. And so the story we want to kind of go into today is the story of engagement in the workplace. And you may be thinking, well, Jerry, what does engagement mean? What is that even measuring? So according to Gallup, engagement measures the psychological attachment workers have to their work, to their team, and to their employer. And this is important because this shows us that there are three components that impact our level of engagement. And they are as follows, like we just said: work, which is what we do on a day-to-day basis; our team, who we do that work with; and then our employer. This is who we do the work for, okay? So my question when I was reading through this to myself, who has the greatest level of impact on how engaged you are? Is it the work you do? Is it your team? Or is it your employer? Research hands down states that it is your employer that has the greatest influence. And I want to talk about this because a point I made in another video that managers influence, or managers and leadership, period, so your employer, influence your overall experience at a job. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, that's not really fair to put all of that responsibility on us. But let's talk about why it falls there. So for one, let's look at it like a hierarchy as it is. So we have our C-suite executives. They're the ones who essentially create the strategy. It's their vision that is ultimately imposed on the remainder of the organization, right? So with that, when you have executives who create a vision, who create a mission, who set out this audacious goal to do certain things, the question has to become, what is the goal centered around? Is it centered around metrics, or is it centered around people? Okay. Now, some of you may think, okay, well, Jerry, you're trying to get us into a corner here because we got to make the money. We got to make a certain amount. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be the case. But again, this is the vision. This is the thing that you're going to be repeating over and over and over again. That's ultimately going to lead up to your, and this is a C word, it's going to lead and create your culture. Yes, great job if you said culture. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Culture is a big term that we really got to nail down. The culture is what we see day to day. It's the ambiance of the room. It's what people feel when they walk in, when they see you, when they see the teams, when they go into different departments. That's the culture. And the culture is the fragrant aroma or the disgusting smell that ultimately comes from the strategy that you are stewing in a pot. What aroma is your culture producing for the rest of the organization? Because that's where it starts. If all of your strategy is solely centered on, hey, we want to be the biggest, we want to do all these great things, there's nothing wrong with that. We got plenty of companies who do it and they're successful and they're winning. But let me ask you this, what is their culture like? How engaged are their teams? How high is turnover? How much are they spending to get new hires? How much are they spending to train those new hires? How much are they losing those new hires that don't make it past a year, 2 years, right? So again, these are things we got to think about, guys. It's not as simple as we want to be number one. Great. A lot of A lot of people want to be number one. Most people want to win. As someone who's a very competitive person, nobody likes losing, right? But we got to make sure we're getting behind people. Now, this is the other piece of it. Let's say you're like, well, Jerry, our focus is our clients. That's our focus, is our clients. I love that. I love that because it's organizations like that who do such a good job of making sure that the clients have such a great experience coming in. They know that at every touch point, they're going to be seen, a cadence will be developed, and there's this culture of care and nurturing that goes into that client. But we spend so much time doing that. We spend so much time creating a culture that inspires and influences engagement from our client. But what's happening to the people who make that happen for the client? You've completely lost engagement. So when I hear organizations that I've worked with tell me, yeah, we really struggle with employee engagement, and so we want to improve it. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a better benefits package in here.
What?
Huh? What do the benefits have to do with it? Here's the thing, guys. It's more than the money. Okay, it's genuinely more than the money, because you have no idea how many people. So for context, previously I sold insurance. And so I was able to meet a lot of different people, from all walks of life. And one of the most universal themes was always, hey, how are you feeling about these benefits? Some people, you had people who are like, yeah, we're grateful, we're excited. But a majority of them were just kind of like, it's about time. But when they left, it didn't engage them. It just helped them take one foot from being out the door. And if that's the metric that you're using for engagement, you clearly don't know what engagement means. So I'm going to reiterate again what engagement is. Engagement measures the psychological attachment workers have, not tangible, not monetary, not bonuses, not benefits, psychological attachment workers have to their work, to their team, and to their employer. Let me give you the stats here. Across the globe, okay, in 2022, employee engagement reached 23%. At the end of 2025, we're down to 20%. We're at a point, and I think COVID helped this a lot. I think people got a reality check. I really do. I think COVID was the great equalizer, because so many people realized if this virus doesn't negatively impact me, my job will. My job will, because I'm being pushed into the ground, right? They realize I don't have any attachment with this. That's why there's a such thing as quiet quitting. That's why there's a such thing as people who say, oh, well, Gen Z, they just give up and they don't care. No, it's because we've seen the effects. We've seen the effects with our parents who are from another generation, where you give everything to the job and then they come home and tell you, oh, one of my great friends and colleagues passed away from a heart attack because of stress. And then we look at them and say, so why are you still working there? Not to say bills aren't important. We know that. Some people have to stay at their job for the sake of paying the bills. But this is why I'm talking to my leaders. I need you to understand. You do not want to have people working for you just for the sake to say, I'm here to pay my bills. Because what state does that leave you in? What state does that leave the key stakeholders in? Right? We got to make it a priority to truly engage our staff. And in large part, that starts with you all. You guys are the brains of the operation. But here's the thing. The powerful piece is the way people will rally behind you when they feel that there's an investment. And that's the other part. It doesn't take you spending $1 billion or $100 million just to get them engaged. It's a matter of what is the culture around your employees? Is it development? Is it sharpening them so they can be better, so they can be more equipped to do these things, to solve these problems, to be key performers in the future? People want to feel like they're winning too, right? They don't want to just feel like a cog in the machine. So I challenge you leaders, I want you to really sit down and think to yourself, what culture am I creating? Is it one that truly values and invests in my team, or is it a culture that's only catering to my client? And I can give you two different case studies, okay? One, basketball reference, okay? I want you to think of, we can say prime Golden State Warriors, it doesn't really matter, but head coach Steve Kerr, that team, they love that man. That is their guy, okay? The trust that they have, and it's because he's created a culture that's the next man up. That's literally what they call it, next man up mentality. Steve Kerr truly shifted the dynamic when it came to that organization, and he was the final piece that they needed to gel the way they did and to create a dynasty that has lasted as long as it has. We know that they are key guys, right? Like we know it was Steph, it was Clay, Dre, those were the guys. However, they made it a point to make sure the guys on the bench, new guys, they got their opportunity. That's why we had Quinn Cook. We had Jordan Poole, you know, pre-punch. Shout out to Jordan Poole. We got Pods, right? Like we've had young guys to be notable because of that mentality that they have. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Now we're gonna compare it to the Chicago Bulls. How many of you watched The Last Dance? Okay? It was a hit, all right? One of the things I loved was being able to see Scottie Pippen's story. Him being one of the most impactful guys in his role to this day, and to be the most underpaid athlete at the time. Did you see what happened when they didn't pour into him? When they didn't acknowledge him? What happened? He didn't care. You could see he disengaged at one point. I think it was around the time he needed to get his surgery done, and Michael Jordan was really upset because he's like, man, you know, you could have waited until we were in the summertime while we're off. You could have done it then, but Scottie was like, no, I'm doing it now because I need to make a point that you guys need me, right? In the same way, it's a matter of respect. They want to know that they matter. This guy is helping you guys win championships, making this club a name, and you can't even revisit his contract. But think about that. That's Scottie Pippen. How many Scottie Pippens do you have on your team and you have no idea? Because your culture is focused on the numbers. Your culture is focused on the clients. Your culture is focused on the stakeholders. Your culture is focused on everything except the people who make it, embody it, walk it, live it every single day. That's why we talk about these numbers. That's why these numbers matter, okay? So, to my leaders, my challenge to you is, we gotta step up, y'all. We gotta step up, okay? But I gotta run, got a meeting. Thank you guys for coming. If you like content like this, please come back for more. And until the next time, y'all stay unfolded. Peace.